Alright guys, welcome to what is actually a freezing cold Germany. It's so cold that I didn't actually need to chill this beer in the fridge. I just literally left it outside of the apartment door, which probably isn't the best thing to do with beer. I don't think this beer will suffer too much being chilled because it's essentially an amber lager. And yeah, I've been waiting for this beer for the whole year, and yeah, it becomes my go-to beer when it's released. It's a seasonal beer. And yeah, ever since I first came to Germany and I first tried this, or was first told about it, I've always enjoyed it. And I just think it's so solidly balanced and crafted that if I'm just having a few bottles just to enjoy and not to do reviews for, this becomes that beer that I will pick up nearly every time we go shopping. It's from one of my favourite breweries, and a brewery that I've covered a few times here with different variations of success, and that is the Weltenburger Kloster. And this is the Winter-Traum, which, like I was saying, it's an amber lager coming in at 5.4%. And yeah, first things first, absolutely gorgeous looking bottle. I love the colour scheme. I love the fact that it has got a metallic finish to it. And yeah, that deep blue with the snowflakes, and then you've got the Weltenburger backdrop covered in snow. It just looks festive, and it instantly reminds me of the Christmas period. This probably isn't going to tickle too many people, but I don't care because, spoiler alert, I love this beer. Now, when I first tried to review this one, because I've had so much trouble trying to review this beer, just one thing happens every time I try to record the video. I've at least had 2 completed videos. One of them, the sound just completely disappeared, and that was the best review that I'd done of it. The first time I tried to review it, I think I was a little bit blinkered because I was hyping this beer up. So I've had this beer quite a few times since I first picked it up this year. So I've been enjoying it, and maybe it's better in the long run that it happened like that I didn't just upload the first review that I recorded. But anyway, I'm waffling on. I'm going to pour it into my Hefeweizen glass, which has got a little bit of a mark on it. I'm just going to pour it straight in because I just want to get into this one. And yeah, as you see, your typical amber lager, although it's slightly paler than some amber lagers, but it still looks really nice. Really active in terms of carbonation. Got some nice bubbles clinging to the side as well. And head, about half a finger's worth of slightly off-white head. It is ever so slightly paler than what I'm used to, but it's still got a nice deep look, relatively clear. And yeah, it just looks like a great little beer. If it had had a bit more head onto it, even though I don't really care about how big the head is, that would have looked absolutely gorgeous. But it looks really nice already. So I'll quickly give this a sniff. And you're instantly getting those malty notes right at the front. Slightly sweetened, but not caramel malts. I'm picking up some herby notes in there as well, but not too sharp. It smells seasoned and lightly spiced, and it instantly puts images in my head of like Christmas spices. Stuff like, even though it's not as potent as this in the beer, Lebkuchen spices. You know, those festive, cakey, Christmassy spices that you put in your bakes and your biscuits. That's the sort of impression I'm getting on this sniff. And you can pick up a very slight bitterness. And then you're getting those notes of like damp hay. It's biscuity, slightly bready, hints of banana in there as well. And yeah, it smells quite nice. So yeah, let's get tuck in. Cheers. Yeah. Even though this is relatively chilled, it's still packing those flavours. You're instantly hit by those lightly spiced malts. There's like almost a hint of smokiness in there as well. Picking up like toffee notes in there, and those Christmassy spices, again, those sweet Christmassy spices, they are slightly there, Maybe that's just me, that's just the image that I've got in my head because of the label and the way I associate this beer. But it does taste like a festive beer. It's not going overboard. It's not absolutely full to the brim with flavour. And if you like your amber lagers, then this is more of like a seasoned, mature tasting amber lager. And even if you're one of those people who doesn't like lagers, I think there's something there for you with this one. Those malty notes are really nice. I'm getting like images of chestnuts, that sort of thing. Those nutty vibes are in there. And yeah, it's warming without having, you know, that alcohol feel to it, because of course it's only, you know, 5.4%, so you're not going to really detect alcohol at all. But it's warming, it's comforting. That's probably just because it's very familiar to me. This would be perfect for any meal, and definitely drinking this at Christmas when you're having your big Christmas meal. This would be a perfect beverage to go with it. It's really nice. It's got a really nice bitter sweetness at the end as well. Very well balanced. For an amber lager, this is definitely up there with one of the best. And it's one of my, if not my favourite Weltenburger beer. It's either tied or a close second, because it always changes with Weltenburger's Assambock, which is one of the best Doppelbocks you will ever taste. Like I was saying, this will now, until it's stopped being produced, this will become my go-to beer. And yeah, you can definitely session this one. It's got those like cakey notes, although not too sweet. It's got those bready notes. It's got those festive notes. It's got those like spices in there. There are those almost herb qualities as well. And sometimes when you have all those components there, it can be quite heavy on the stomach, even though it's not high in ABV, or heavy on the mouthfeel. But it works really well. And if you ever get the chance to try this beer, it's one that you should definitely check out. And if you're a naysayer of lager, like if you just blindly hate lagers because they're lagers, give this one a try, because it'll definitely make you think differently about it. That being said, I'm not going to give this a 10 out of 10. I'm not going to give it a 9 out of 10. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. When you take everything into account, I could easily say this is a 10 out of 10 just because it's one of my favourite beers. But being conservative, it's definitely an 8 out of 10 from me, which is still very good. A very good score. And yeah, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this, and I'm going to enjoy stocking up on this one because I just love it. It's a fantastic little beer that you should all try. If you have tried it, of course, let me know your thoughts and opinions about the beer. Are you a fan of Weltenburger Kloster? What's your favourite Weltenburger Kloster beer? If you want to find out more about Weltenburger Kloster and the beers that they produce, I'll be putting a wealth of information down below, as well as any other reviews to this beer, so you can check those out and get a bit more of a rounded opinion on the beer itself. And of course, check out the Clueless Drinker playlist down below for some of my other beer reviews. So thank you all for watching, and I shall see you in the next beer review. Cheers.